Welcome to Left Undone Incomplete Investigations. I'm Kathryn. Welcome to part 3 of The Cult Exposed. Before you proceed, please know there is a trigger warning for this video. This information discussed in this video may be bothersome or troublesome to some individuals, so please proceed with caution. You may want to read the comments first to see if it's something you're willing to view.
Just then a man came up to Jesus and asked, "Teacher, what good thing must I do to get eternal life?" "Why do you ask me about what is good?" Jesus replied. "There's only one who is good. If you want to enter life, keep the commandments." "Which ones?" he inquired. Jesus replied, "You shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not give false testimony, honor your father and mother, and love your neighbor as yourself."
I'm Kathryn. Welcome to Left Undone Incomplete Investigations. So, even though we've heard how close Lori and Alex were, obviously to Lori Vallow, Alex was expendable. Alex must have had a life insurance policy because Zelima filed a probate case on February 4th. Think about the cult. Cults revolve around the leader or leaders. Looking at these circumstances, there's possibly, in my opinion, possible insurance schemes going on here. Fraudulent schemes, maybe larceny. Lori stole $30,000 off of Charles Vallow's company. Sounds like a common criminal, right? You cannot deny that that is.
"I had been like a gentle lamb led to the slaughter. I did not realize that they had plotted against me, saying, 'Let us destroy the tree and its fruit. Let us cut him off from the land of the living, that his name be remembered no more.'"
So if you step back far enough, you can see a pattern to her madness. She has serious problems, and she can't plead insanity, but there's really, truly something wrong with Lori. We all know that. Is she psychotic, sociopath, mentally ill, personality disorder? Was she having an episode of some sort? Or is she a snake? The snake we all see before us. She is diabolical. Now, Julie Rowe is also relevant. The more I think about Julie Rowe, the more I learn that she probably has a big part in this cult belief system. Now, all this is my opinion and opinions of those that I have consulted with, talked to, that provide some resources for me, my sources. Just know that all of these are opinions only. There is no factual base here, but we are digging deep in this. Now, think about Julie Rowe for a minute. She's a go-getter. She seems like a go-getter. She represents, she flashes, and she flashes the hand satanic symbolism. I wasn't too sure about this at first. I was actually a little bit like, wait, what? But if you look it up and you match it up with certain times that Julie Rowe is actually speaking, she is mentioning her group, her people, her cult, and she flashes these particular hand symbols when she's doing that. I'll show you some. Here's some pictures of her. Now, just like I said, it's opinions, putting clues together, trying to solve the mystery. That's what we do here in true crime, right? The true crime community, that's what we're all about. But sometimes little tidbits actually reveal a lot more. And that's what we're trying to do. What's your opinion? Leave comments below. Now, Julie Rowe is part of AUG. Now, AUG, I'm really starting to think that they are not actually the cult, and I never really thought that in the first place, but we do know that they have recruited from AUG. It seems to be a marketplace for people in this cult to find others that are interested in learning more, knowing what the secrets are. And they hook them up, they hook them in, and they pull them out. Why these people, the prepper community, is attracted to this, I don't know. Most of Daybell, as we've mentioned before, is just that, a prepping community. But this stuff did come from there. There was a lot of conversation. Melanie Gibb wrote her letter to Daybell. Why? Who is she warning in Daybell about the dangers of these people? She's not talking to herself. She's not talking to Chad and Lori anymore. I know that it was directed to people in that group to beware. So we do know they were absolutely recruited from Daybell, many of them. When she's flashing these hand signals, it appears to me, in my opinion, that maybe she's talking to someone, showing allegiance to the cult, maybe showing allegiance to Satan, if this really truly is a satanic cult. What if Zulema was ordered by the cult leader or his new wife to marry Alex, kill Alex, collect the payout, split the payout between Zulema and the cult? Lori called Zulema the day of Alex's death. And she told Zulema that she needed to check on Alex because Lori was worried about him. Perhaps the true reason for the call was a confirmation for Zulema to carry out the hit on Alex. Zulema's dirty. The cult has to have some form of funding. They can't survive without money. Alex killed Charles Vallow so Lori would get the payout. But that didn't happen. Why? Because Charles was smart enough to figure it out and change his beneficiary to Kay Woodcock. This made Lori mad. Not just mad, angry, rageful, right? Extremely rageful. Then we also have Brandon Boudreaux. He was shot at. There is no coincidences here. I believe, in my opinion, that he absolutely was shot at for money, for life insurance money to go to Melanie P. But Melanie P had $200,000 in the bank, according to Brandon's documents, right? So why would Melanie P want to kill off the children's father for more money? Did she have an allegiance to a cult that needed to be funded with money? In my opinion, I think that might be very possible here. You get the life insurance payout, and she could split it with the cult. She could do something with it. It was important enough for her to get that money. Important enough for her to be the beneficiary of that money for a reason. What's the reason? Cults need their members to support them. Now, when Tammy Daybell died, Chad got a payout. And he also had increased the amount of insurance policy just weeks before her death. Why? For Lori? Is it bigger than that? Is it bigger than running and hiding in Hawaii and spending it all? Where did it all go? Did they really spend that much money? $300,000 plus in Hawaii? Ask yourself that. That was increased just weeks before her death. What's the motive? Motive is money. The objective, the sole purpose of all these occurrences was to gain monetarily. You don't have to dig very deep to see the inner workings of the cult. You can't serve two masters.
Great is that darkness.
You cannot serve God and money.
No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money.
God and money. Their master is money. And this has brought evilness. Satan, evilness, master of money, all makes sense. Lump it all together because it certainly makes a lot of sense when you think about their motive, what they were getting out of it, and what they had to do to get where they were able to retrieve this money, With the children gone, Lori prospers, right? She prospers because she gets a monthly income and she doesn't have to support children. No children, no expense, more money to fund a cult. Or is it for her Gucci handbags? But putting it all together, like I said, it seems bigger than Lori just wanting new shoes. I'm gonna play Lori and the police that came to the door in Rexburg and how crazy wackadoodle talking she was all over the map. When they showed up for that welfare check, Lori and Chad panicked. Lori and Chad felt the heat of the moment. Now we know the cops knew they were all lying. So Lori and Chad booked it. They left. I'm going to Hawaii. They packed up that night before they came back, and they were gone.
Here's the recording from the court the day of Chad's preliminary hearing. That is Lori with the police at her door and how she reacts.
Her car's out there too.
Where?
In the back. It's blue. Blue Subaru.
Hi. You Lori? Lori, I'm Lieutenant Ball of the Police Department. How are you? You got a minute? You alone or that help? Or?
My brother's here.
Okay. This is Detective Stubbs.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
So, we're here.
Wow, this is a big mess. I just talked to the guy on the phone.
And what did he ask you?
He was just saying that he wanted to do a well check on JJ.
So, JJ would be where?
He's in Arizona.
Who's he with in Arizona?
He's with one of my friends in Arizona.
Oh.
Hi.
Oh,
Hey.
you got a notepad?
No? Want me to get one?
No. Come here. You mind if he comes in?
No, come on.
So,
Thank you.
Sorry.
who's the friend he's with?
My friend Melanie. Her
Melanie.
son has autism. Her name's Melanie Gibb. I gave him all the information on the phone.
Okay, so he can call him?
Yeah.
Bert?
Discord.
Yeah. What is all this?
We're a little
What is
concerned
Why?
because, well, the officers who were here earlier
Yeah.
were checking and they got a bad vibe that like something was going on here because nobody knew anything about a child. They weren't talking.
It's because a
What's
lot of
going
stuff
on?
has gone on. If you want to know, it's a lot of stuff. So
Well, that's why we're concerned because it just was kind of weird.
it is very weird. I've had to move around a lot. One of my brothers is trying to kill me. Not the brother that lives here, obviously. He's kind of my protector. My other brother that was in with my husband who was trying to kill me for my $2 million life insurance policy.
Now,
So a lot of stuff has gone on in this last year. It's been a horrible year for us. I've had to move around. And so I was going to move back to Arizona, put my son back into the school there because I tried to put him in school here, public school at Kennedy.
okay.
He went for 2 months. We tried it, but he had such a hard time. Now, the person who called is my sister-in-law, but she's his natural grandmother. He's adopted by us. Okay, so her son, who's a drug addict,
Okay.
had a baby with a girl who's a drug addict, and they took him from, CPS took him.
Okay.
Gave him to the grandmother. She came and got him, and then she wanted us to adopt him, which we did. And we loved
By
him and taking
us,
care.
who we
My
call
husband and I, who died earlier this year.
Okay.
He passed away. Since he
Sorry to
passed
hear that.
away, she's been trying to fight me for him and being really horrible to me and that kind of stuff. She's kind of the paternal friend.
Okay, thank
Does
you.
that make sense?
That's what I
I'm sorry.
mean. The paternal grandmother.
He has autism and ADHD. He doesn't really talk to people. Like he's very special needs. So I had him in a special needs school there. She was trying to, so what happened was my husband, who we were married for 15 years and had raised all these 5 kids together, switched his life insurance policy to her, right?
To
his sister,
okay.
who got $1 million when he died, and we got nothing. For me to raise JJ, and all the kids got nothing, and everybody got nothing. She got $1 million. So I knew she was going to try to sue me for him, or
JJ?
yeah, because she now has this $1 million, so she can hire people to help him, and I have nothing.
But you have legal custody.
He's my son. I adopted him when
Right.
he was 2 years. We had him from the time he was 8 months old till 2 years old. So she does nothing that wants to cause me trouble. So I don't tell people the truth about where we are and what we're doing because of those reasons. So I look like a suspect, but I am not a good person. Raised all of my kids. I've done everything that I'm supposed to do in life, but everyone is causing me trouble right now. So
We don't want to cause a lot of trouble. How long have you been here?
We only been here since September.
Okay.
We moved up here in September. My daughter to go to BYUI.
Your daughter goes to BYUI?
Yeah.
Does she live here?
Mm-hmm. So it's been a nightmare. But I'm going to go back to Arizona so I can put him back in the special needs school. He couldn't do the school here. It was too hard for him. He would scream and cry, take him to school. The principal would have to come out, try to drag him out of the car. Like, it just was too hard. But I just don't tell people where I am. I don't tell her where I am ever.
Okay.
And she doesn't have any legal rights to anything. Like, she's been horrible to me since my husband died.
My understanding, she never called to try to get the child, hey, I'm interested in the child back, but that.
I know, but she sends me these emails with like the dates and like she's putting up court stuff, like she's documenting. I haven't heard from him in all this time, and so I've told her that he's fine. But
See, and we hadn't heard any of that as far as.
I'm just saying she's doing this as part of that.
Yeah.
Is my understanding.
And our only concern in this whole thing
is that he's fine.
Is the child.
I got it.
And so that's where we're at on the. And then
So
we were just a little weirded out when. And I understand now that we've heard your side of the story.
It's awful. I feel like I'm being tracked all the time. I'm like, why are police coming to my door? What did I do?
They said they were out visiting with two guys, and I'm assuming one's your brother.
Who was this? Yeah.
Who was the other one? The other guy they were visiting with. There were two.
Visiting.
Well, we had two detectives over here trying to.
Looking for you a little while ago.
Oh, because I was at the store.
And they ran into. Well, probably one of your brothers.
My brother and his friend, probably.
Oh, who's
They've been
that?
moving. Chad.
Chad from around here?
Mm-hmm.
What's his last name? Yeah. Okay. All right.
So it's just a mess. It's constantly causing me trouble.
Chad the Daybell?
He's an author.
Doesn't he live like out in the? Isn't that the Chad Daybell that? Did his wife pass away recently? Is that him?
I don't know.
I bet it is. Chad the Daybell. Yeah.
But it sounds familiar as an author.
I think I know one of his. Has he got a couple of daughters?
He has lots of kids.
Okay. I'll bet it's safe. All right. Well, need anything else? Sorry to bother you.
Thank you.
Okay.
We don't mean to be a problem.
I'm sorry that people are constantly knocking on my door looking for me, and I just don't want to be found. So.
Have you had problems? Because I think we've only had.
The reason I'm moving is because the brother that was going to kill me, that we found emails and texts with my husband at the time, came showing up here. So he found out where I was, and he was knocking on my door.
No, this was your brother?
One of my brothers.
He showed up here and was knocking on your door.
He lives in Kansas.
And you said something about you were getting threatening emails?
Well, no. Just after my husband passed, I found emails and texts between them that they were planning all this stuff to get rid of me.
Do we need to worry about him coming over?
Well, that's when I'm moving back. I'm moving, and I'm not going to be in a place. I'm going to live with my friend, Melanie. Don't tell her.
Oh, you can call. I'm going to take care of it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Just a nightmare. I mean, I canceled the insurance policy since my husband passed, so there's no money if they kill me. And what are they going to do with JJ and Tyler? Like, what do people think?
Okay.
So.
Well, if you have a problem, show us back up, feel free to call us. We'll come and run him off or something. Okay? All right.
Appreciate it.
Okay, we'll get out of here. Sorry to bother you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya. Not.
Detective Stubbs, did you return to that same apartment that day?
Yes. When Detective Hermosillo and Detective Hope could not contact Melanie Gibb a few minutes later from this encounter, we went back to her door to inquire about how we could get a hold of Melanie Gibb.
And is that what is on the second film file here?
That is
Video file?
correct. So they want us to ask Lori if she would. So we can get their Melanie is the friend.
Wasn't Melanie the one living up here? Supposed to be her daughter, Lori's daughter?
No, this was the friend that she's going back down to live with, she said.
Right. She's got a daughter named Melanie.
Let's just see if she will call and have Melanie get a hold of Hope and just do a verification. Because apparently she's not answering the phone down there.
Lori? Hi, Lori. Sorry to bother you again. We're having trouble getting a hold of your friend down there, Melanie.
Well, they were going to Frozen 2 today, so they may be at the movies.
Could you get a hold of her at some point and say, can you please call back the officer that's been trying to call you?
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
because I think they are at the movies right now.
Okay, he's been trying to call her or the other officer. She's not answering.
Okay.
But if they're at the movie, that's,
Probably at Frozen 2 right now.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing he wanted to do.
I'm frozen too.
yeah,
It's so
Yeah.
cold here.
So-
I don't know if I can handle a whole winter here. That's probably why.
yeah. So if she'll just return his call, that'd be great.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Yes, sir.
Came back and they were gone. Lori realized that she told the cops too much. She sounded like she was losing it. She was all over the map. She was anxious. She was out of sorts. She was off the rails. An entire time, the cops knew that she was lying. Is she delusional? I mean, it really doesn't make sense. But she did know that the children were dead. Panic struck. Melanie Pulowski and Ian Pulowski are in this cult, in my opinion. All of a sudden, they're quiet. Where are they? They've disappeared. They're right off the radar, right off the grid. They're both on Lori's witness list. Melanie Gibb, Melanie P., Julie Rowe, Zalima, followers, Chad, cult leader. Chad informs Lori she has become a translated being. She's exalted. He's the one telling her this. Lori admired Chad for years. She became obsessed with his books, his writings. She read all his books. She was enthralled with him. She probably built him up inside her mind to be whomever she wanted him to be. This is obvious because he changed his looks. He didn't look like such a dork once Lori got a hold of him. Did Lori think she was a god before she met Chad or after?
We can see that Lori lacks empathy. She has no conscience. She has no remorse. She has nothing. She's definitely a narcissist, a sociopath, a psychopath. There's something deeply wrong with her. Anyone that can kill their children, obviously, or knows that their children were murdered, has no empathy. So Lori is playing these police officers. She's playing the world. She's playing in Hawaii. And to what motive? Why? Why would she just get rid of her children and murder them for a couple $1,000s a month, or something bigger and something deeper?
That's it for now. This ends part 3 of The Cult Exposed. Thank you for watching Left Undone Incomplete Investigations. I'm Kathryn. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We go live every Saturday morning, and I will see you then. Take care.